You are now listening to the Do It Movement podcast, where we share our experiences in real estate investing and encourage you to take action. You don't want to miss what we have in store today, so let's welcome our host, Martine Richardson, and our co-host, Eubanks.
What's up today, Do It Movement listeners? This is your host, Martine Richardson, your buy and hold coach. I am joined today with my co-host, Lori Eubanks, and the Ryan Mellon. How you doing today, Ryan?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to have you on. I think you're gonna share a lot of gems and truly promote freedom today, because people talk about freedom, but they stay in their city.
Excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
We are so excited. I've known Ryan forever, I feel like, since I was 18 years old. And I'm just so excited to share his journey today and inspire so many. So we're just excited to have Ryan with us. And we're just going to. Oh, go ahead, Martine.
No, I was going to say, what do you mean, Lori? You're only 19. That's only 1 year.
You're right. We just met. But yeah, we're so grateful. You know, Ryan's story, some people know it, but maybe they don't know all of it. You know, what he's working on today is just incredible. So very grateful that Ryan's taken time here at the retreat. So we're catching up and talking business, and excited to bring in the conversation to our podcast. Ryan, he doesn't need an introduction. You're going to learn all about him, but I want to know what got you in this journey of entrepreneurship and specifically real estate.
Yeah, so I was always interested in real estate, read a lot about it, got my real kind of sat on the shelf there for a while. And I was working 2 jobs, 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, working fast food and working in a warehouse in the evening. And then I was reading a couple travel blogs, and I was reading The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss and Vagabonding by Rolf Potts. And it really instilled in me this spark to go travel. So I was able to manage to get 2 weeks off from my jobs. I flew to Costa Rica and backpacked that trip. Backpacked the country solo, swimming in volcano crater lakes and ziplining jungles and checking out both the Caribbean and Pacific beaches, just living the dream. I met lots of people that were traveling for years on end, which I didn't know was even a thing until I had met these folks. And I went back to work not feeling went back to my 2 jobs, not feeling refreshed and excited to go back to work, but feeling like I really needed to make some major changes. And then a few weeks later, after coming back, I went back to both my jobs as usual, and was having some drinks with some friends of mine. And as all good ideas come up with drinks with friends, they were like, we really want to do a road trip when we retire of the US. And I was like, why are we waiting till we retire? Let's quit our jobs. Let's save up enough money and let's do a 1-year road trip. And that's literally exactly what we did. We set a date for 14 months from then, and we saved every penny we could. We rented out our houses. We gave cars to family members. We found an RV, and we got an RV, and we did 23 states over that 1 year. It was an absolutely epic trip. And in the middle of that trip, 6 months through, I realized, wow, the money's running out. B, the trip is coming to an end soon. And I really want to keep this travel thing going. Like, what can I do? So I actually reached out to Lori, and I was like, how can I help you do some deals? Because I do have my license. And I helped her do a couple deals before I had left. So we already had that working relationship. How can I help you find deals? And this was 2018.
Yeah.
So there was tons of REOs and bank foreclosures on the market at this time. I mean, there would be 20 in the Hampton Roads market on at any given time. So we just figured out how to really game the system and just constantly push out offers to the systems that control these, the HUD Home Store and whatever, and just constantly sending out tons of offers. And
so cool.
And we did 20, 25 deals that Lori bought, and I was the real estate agent on it that last 6 months. And after we got done with the road trip, I realized I don't have to go back to work. I'm a digital nomad now, which wasn't even a term back then. I stayed at home for a couple of months with some family, and then I launched my international journey. A couple months later, I flew to New Zealand. I did 8 countries, and it ended that trip in Cuba on the cruise to Cuba with you guys.
Oh, so
The
fun.
real estate cruise.
Yes.
And doing deals the whole time I've been traveling. And since then, I've been traveling and working from 23 US states and 23 countries over the past 7 years as a real estate investor.
Let's just take a moment to
Awesome.
take that in. If anyone's listening and you're like rushing between work and like you're on a break and you're hearing this, or like feeling like you're stuck, like listen to him. So he was working two jobs. And, what I'd like to know, if you go back working those two jobs, what inspired you to think outside the box that you actually could travel and be a digital nomad, and funding through real estate, is amazing.
Yeah, so what inspired me was reading travel bloggers that were talking about just getting out there and doing solo travel and how solo travel changes people and helps you grow because you're really way outside of your comfort zone, especially if you're in a country that doesn't speak your language, has a different culture, and you're by yourself. So I think it was a combination between that and reading the 4 Hour Work Week was huge because he kind of lays out a blueprint. And even though that book, I think, came out in 2012, he was already laying out that kind of digital nomad blueprint by using virtual assistants to automate your business. And, he talks about how he built a huge business that was very successful, but he was trapped inside of it. And so kind of reinventing himself to get out of it so that he could travel. That's what sparked my interest in travel. And then once I just got out there and I realized I kind of fell into the part when I started running out of money that, like, oh, I need to figure out how to work. And that's when I reached out to you and we started just, doing all the contracts remotely through email and digital signatures. And so it just worked out.
It was so cool because I would call Ryan and I'm like, what state are y'all in? And so, for those who don't know, our best friends got married. Like, our best friends connected and got married. And so, we were all really close and excited to work together. But to see someone that just travel through 20, how many states?
3 states.
23 states in the RV and doing real estate transactions, that many, traveling and seeing the world, like that's amazing. I want to just applaud y'all for taking that step because it's pretty scary. A lot of people may not think they can do that. So just amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it was amazing experience and it changed everything for me. So
Yeah. And so, one thing that you mentioned, you got into the digital nomad space. So, how has investing impacted your travel? Has it funded it fully, or tell us a little bit about that impact?
yeah, so over the past 6 years of actually traveling international after that 1 year road trip, I would come back. I would spend my winters traveling somewhere warm for 6 months, and then I would spend my summers at home when the weather's good in Virginia, and I would buy houses, renovate them, sell them, so do some flips, or I would buy, renovate, and rent. And so over the past 6 years, I built up a portfolio of rental properties, which the income completely covers my monthly costs, both living at home and for my travels. So I built my real estate business while still traveling 23 countries over the past 6 years and being in the country only half of the year of each of those years. And so it's been a game changer. I've had to make adjustments in my business in some very like technical senses so that when I'm gone, there's no one moving out, so I don't allow leases to expire during winter time. I make sure I have lock boxes on all properties hidden so that if I'm in Thailand or Bali and the tenant's at work and the toilet's broken, I can get my guy in there, my plumber, and we can get it fixed. Even though I'm on the other side of the world, then I get a photo, it's done, I cash app them. So there is some systems that I did put in place to make sure that kind of slows down during my travel time. And then when I'm home, I have the move outs, and if I'm gonna buy anything new or do a renovation, that happens when I'm here in the summertime.
That's incredible. So a lot of people that are investing thinking like I gotta be there, I gotta be on site. There's systems and things that you can implement and ways to manage. And I mean, it's just incredible. Is your goal to build that portfolio more, or what are you focused on today?
Yeah, so the goal is I'm really comfortable with the portfolio and what I have now. I've been paying off some properties and increasing my cash flow like
Love
that.
it.
And I am still looking. So if I find the right property, I will still be picking up more properties. I'm wholesaling stuff as they come up. I bought some land when I was in Bali this past winter that's on the market now that I'm flipping. So I am doing some stuff in real estate too. It has slowed down a little bit, and I'm focusing more on my coaching business. I'm a personal coach, helping people become location independent, helping people become digital nomads, whether they were working fast food like I was and they need to become a freelancer with skills that they've acquired over the years, over jobs, or find a remote job, or becoming an entrepreneur. So I do one-on-one coaching with people, helping them do that. I'm also building a very robust course right now that will be out next month, which will take people from zero to hero as far as being anywhere you are in life right now to working on a beach in Thailand or Vietnam or Bali or Colombia, and just really being able to work and live anywhere in the world. And also, I have a podcast called Digital Nomad Nation where I interview other digital nomads and we hear their story. Everyone's story is different of how they became a digital nomad. And so we learn from their journey. People can get inspired by hearing their journey about how to become a digital nomad themselves.
It's really incredible. Like, I think people feel like you have to be at a certain part in their life to make that type of change. And we all think we're going to work towards these things. Like, life is short. You don't know how long you have. So, it's just incredible inspiration that you're now teaching and inspiring other people. And for those who don't know, Brian inspired me to grow my entire portfolio. And like he said, in 2018, we bought 25-ish or more houses just with him traveling. So I'm a firm believer that if you are happy and you're at your highest self, you will make more money. So if that's been on your bucket list, get into Ryan's circle and his coaching, his podcast, start learning and thinking bigger. So we're actually at the retreat right now, inspired by Ryan, who told me, why can't you? And everyone needs a Ryan. Everyone needs a good friend that will support you, even when other people tell you that you're crazy. So Ryan is just, I wish I could share all of the stories, but, having someone you can talk to that, is solution based and is always doing win-win deals and high ethics, it's really hard to find. So make sure you follow him.
For sure. For sure. So, Ryan, I want you to think back cuz I know like as we go on our journeys, like some stuff that might have been like hurdles for us at one point, they're like it doesn't matter. Like it's easy now. I've done that a lot of times. It's easy. So I want to ask you about your transition because you said in fast food, and then you became an agent because it seemed like you wanted some more freedom. And I think you saw real estate bought freedom. But then you transition into investor. And I think a lot of agents have a hard time transitioning to an investor role. So can you talk to us a little bit more about how was that transition? Was it difficult for you? Like what made you say, well, maybe I ought to get in the investing space?
Yeah, well, I think I started so because I didn't start as a traditional agent working with, first-time home buyers and like retail clients. My first
Mhm.
client was Lori Eubanks, who is just a real estate investing machine.
No, he's talked me off the cliff so many times. So he's been my coach through it.
But because she was my main first client, I was involved 100% on the investing side. I think most agents start in the hand holding first time home buyers and retail clients and selling retail listings. And I was only doing investing stuff. So I had to understand renovation costs. I had to understand ARV. I had to understand that we need to get all these properties at a deep discount to make them work. And then I was seeing the behind the scenes of where the money was coming from and what that looked like and how you could buy houses with $0 out of your pocket or even getting checks at closing, so like when you buy houses. So I think that was the turning point for me. And right before I went on this US road trip, I got a owner finance duplex under contract and I was freaking out. And I was like, I don't know if I want to buy this right before I leave for 1 year because I had already moved out of my house, which I owned, and rented it out. So now I was going from 1 to 3 tenants to be managed as I just quit my jobs and now I'm traveling. And I'm like, Lori, do I really want to buy this duplex? It's going to be like $500 or $600 a month in cash flow. And she's like, well, is that going to help you on your road trip? And I was like, yeah, probably. So I bought the duplex.
I always say buy it.
I bought the
Right.
duplex and I had that duplex for many, many years. And then I sold it for double what I paid for it a couple of years ago. And yeah, it turned out great. I learned a lot of lessons from that duplex.
For sure.
I was like an amateur landlord and picked not the best people and learned some hard lessons, but like that's what it's all about. And I've gotten a lot better at, choosing the right folks that are going to be successful and in the properties because, we want everyone to be successful. So, yeah, I hope that answered your question on how I got into the investing space. But yeah, seeing the behind the scenes as an agent, helping other investors really gave me the backing and resources to do it myself.
Right. It sounds like you were surrounded by the hope dealer over there that made you feel that's what we call Lori.
Yeah,
The
most
hope dealer
definitely.
over there.
It was
Yeah,
definitely
it seemed like
mutual.
yeah, it
Yeah,
sounds like that you guys had you saw how she was doing it. She was doing a lot of it. You were working with other people, so it made the transition not as, I guess, scary. It sounds
yeah.
like. Because a lot of people, they're afraid of that. They're like, oh, I'm going to be responsible for the house. I have to pay a mortgage. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people are a little afraid of that.
Yeah, no, it takes time to
So,
get used to but seeing getting into the groups where you're constantly around investors and you can have those conversations about your concerns, they can talk you through it. There's usually a pretty simple answer for all the all the questions that come up.
right, right, right. So one thing that you mentioned, and maybe you can elaborate on a little bit more as well, is that it seemed like because you were at home for 6 months and then you were away for 6 months, it forced you to put in systems so that you could truly have some passive income when you're gone. Like the process didn't need you as much. Did you have those systems in place before when you were just here, or did you're like, oh, I know I'm going to be gone, so I just want to make sure everything is okay? What did that process look like?
I think it was a little bit messy on the first trip, on the road trip, with my primary house that I just rented out and then the
Right.
duplex. So I went from 0 tenants to 3 tenants and then quit my jobs and started traveling. It was messy that first year, but coming back that second summer and then I bought like 3 more properties from one landlord and I started to grow my portfolio more quickly. at that point, that's when I started realizing I really needed processes in place so that I could screen tenants from anywhere, show houses from anywhere, get contractors in, pay them, and just make sure that when I'm gone, like I said, not allowing the leases to expire in wintertime is good for everybody. Because I just tell the tenants that nobody wants to move during wintertime. So if it's time to sign up, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find good people in the wintertime as well. So you have a much bigger pool of folks looking to move when the weather's nice. So that's when you want vacancy. And so that's really worked out that part as well. I have had tenants move out in the middle of a lease in the middle of winter, and I had to figure it out, and I'm on the other side of the world, and I didn't come back for that. But I was able to get I was able to get my contractors in, and I have help. I have someone that's my trustee on my trust who can go by and like check on stuff or do a video of a house, put it on YouTube, and then, when I'm screening tenants, I'll send them to the YouTube link, and then they can check it out like that. And then I don't let anyone actually come and see it in person until they've seen it on YouTube, they put in an application, it appears like they meet my criteria. All right, now send me a copy of your ID. Here's the lockbox code, go at it. And so it reduces the foot traffic by a significant amount. Me just having them watch the video, then do the application online, which is only 3 pages. I lose 80% of people at the 3-page application.
Yeah.
So so the 20% that's coming through are really motivated for the property. And so those are the only people actually going through the property foot traffic. So it's a lot, it reduces that foot traffic of strangers going through the property when I'm on the other side of the world. I have all their personal information and a copy of their ID before I give them the code. So that's worked out really well.
I love that because I think I'm actually about to add something to my system that you just mentioned.
Yeah, people should be taking notes. That's great.
Because I don't like showing the property either, but I haven't been sending a YouTube video. I like that.
Yeah.
I've noticed that a lot of people that when you send them, I want them to see the place after they've applied too, but I think we're living in a world now where there are a lot of scammers. So a lot of people think like, oh, I have to pay for an application before I see a place. I don't want to do that. Now I get people that do it because I like stand my ground. I'm not showing it unless you apply. But I think it would be a little bit nicer, a little warmer if I had a little video in there to give them an idea, what this place looks like and things like that. So those are some really good tips. I want to ask you, what does life look like for you now? I know you talked about, your coaching, you talked about your travel and stuff like that, but I know a lot of people, they want to be free. They don't want to have to go to their job every day, a job that they don't like. And they're hearing your story and they're like, man, this guy's living the life. This is the life I want to live. So what does your life look like now that you're able to, do the things that you really truly love to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's gone from working 2 dead-end jobs, 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, to traveling 6 months out of every year, if not more. I still do small trips when I'm here in the summer, and traveling. So I'm in summer 10 months out of the year, which is my jam. I hate the cold. I live on my sailboat when I'm home in the summertime, which is also awesome. And I get to come back and meet with family and friends and reconnect. Whereas a lot of digital nomads who leave for years at a time or travel for years at a time, you kind of lose that aspect of being able to connect with friends and family on a personal level. So that works out for me great. And I wake up every day working on the projects that excite me because my monthly expenses are covered by real estate. And so now I'm working on projects that I really am excited about, and just helping people also get that freedom is really more purpose driven, because if it wasn't for the bloggers and the authors of the books that I have read that inspired me, I would have never made any of these changes in my life. So it's kind of like giving back, you know?
Love
Right,
that.
right. I love that. What I think you've already said this game changer, but maybe you have another. But what's been a total game changer for you? Like if somebody really wants to, I want to backpack across the world and I need to figure out how to do that. What has been a game changer for you to make it so that you're able to do that, or like first steps or whatever, something that can help somebody that wants to get this done?
Yeah, I think the most important thing for someone who's looking to become a digital nomad is just finding out what they want to do, and it just needs to be able to be done remotely. If you already have a business, it's finding out how to get yourself out of that business and working on the business instead of in the business. But if you are someone that is just wanting to do a job that's remote, there's tons of remote jobs out there. Since COVID, that was one good thing that came out of COVID, was so many office jobs are not at the office anymore. So you can find remote work and just work not from home but anywhere in the world. And you can also I teach people in my course and on my one-on-one coaching, a lot of people that don't have jobs that aren't like completely transferable to remote work, like they're not on the computer right now. We go through all of their past jobs and all of their schooling, and we figure out what skills have they learned, and then we could look at those skills, and then we can see, all right, what remote jobs or jobs online can you use the skills you already have to transfer it into working online, working in the computer, so that you can start to travel. So I think it's just reframing the mindset that there's always a way to figure it out, no matter where you are in your life or career, to be able to do this. It's possible for everyone.
Right, that's awesome. That's some good words. I thought you were going to mention the 4 hour work week. I have it on my shelf somewhere, but it seems
That
like that book helped you a lot.
The 4 hour work week was a huge inspiration. I still reread it like every once in a while. And Tim Ferriss in general, his podcast, everything, he puts out some really good stuff. But the 4 hour work week was a huge inspiration to me. And then vagabonding after that, which is what Tim Ferriss kind of promotes in the 4 hour work week, by Rolf Potts, is a very cool. That's that one that will really spark the travel bug. So like Tim Ferriss's book sparks the logistical part of how to run that business and travel, and vagabonding is like gonna spark the travel bug of like how to really get out there and experience life and do some solo traveling if you want to, and just really enjoying the places that you're going to be at.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing this, because I don't think I know a lot of people, honestly, that like truly travel almost full time and like truly live the life of their dreams. And you've gotten there by putting systems in place through buying and holding real estate. I heard that.
Right.
I just really appreciate you sharing that. So it's been really wonderful having you on. So for people that are listening, if they want to, they want to be a digital nomad and they want to get in contact with you, or they just want to keep in touch with you, Ryan, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Yeah, so my website, thedigitalnomadcoach.com. There's a free guide that they can download, 7 ways to become a digital nomad. And I'm also the Digital Nomad Coach on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And then I have a podcast called Digital Nomad Nation, where I interview other digital nomads, and we hear their story and how they made their transition. So it's really good inspiration.
I love it. So remember, all things digital nomad, and we will get to you. I love it. Love it. Lori, if people want to get in contact with you, what is the best way to reach you?
I'm on all the social media sites, and my email will be in the show notes. And We love talking real estate. So whether you're selling, renting, lending, all of the things, we want to talk. We talk deals. Deal making is the best activity. So connect. Love to hear from you and really appreciate being on.
Yeah, thanks for
And
having me.
yeah, it's truly been a pleasure. I love to help people buy their first rental property with no money down. You heard Ryan say it. He's buying these properties with no money out of his pocket. So I'm not only saying it, Lori's not only saying it. Now we have Ryan on here saying it. We did not pay him to say that. So if you want to get in contact with me, the absolute best way is through my free Facebook group. It's called The Freedom Inc., and the link will be in the show notes. But until next time, Do It Movement listeners, see ya!
Thank you for tuning into our show. If you need more handholding on your rental property investor journey, book a 15-minute strategy session with Martine. We can see if you're a fit for the Freedom Inc. fam, link in the show notes. Also be sure to join the free Freedom Inc. Facebook group, where each week Martine goes over a real-life rental property investor deal and shows you how the deal was found, how to get the money, and how to make a cash flow, and much more. If you'd like to connect with Lori, be sure to email her at vitalizeproperties@live.com. Until next time, see ya.